So we are. Is that so? I can join in a moment. I mean, that's not even true. There's tons of things to talk about, Josh. It's just a matter of whether or not you want me to share my personal ideas of character and story development in general. I'm very meticulously. Nothing pressing to talk about. I would require you to select a character, because some are harder than others. Although I will say, there is one idea I do kind of want to share. It's about Jean. Because I was thinking, like, you know what? How could Jean possibly progress as a kid? Because, you know, in my opinion, we're not going to stay with one elemental skill and one elemental burst throughout the entire lifetime of the game. In the future, going to be tied to character development, though. I think it's more than possible, because I've told you about Jin Q's potential development, right? Well, for those who do not like spoilers, spoiler alert, but Jin Q's story talks about how the Guhua, the clan, has three three techniques, three styles. You have the rain cutter, which is the sword, which is what Jin Q uses now. And then you have what is that? Give me a moment to find it in this. Light piercer, which is for pole arms, and then you have life ender, which is for both. Now, I've always kind of suspected that we'd get some kind of character development and more advanced skills and gameplay in general as the game progresses, but I don't expect that for a while. But to me, Jin Q's has the most clearly laid out path, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Eventually, someday Jin Q's going to be a polearm wielder, and then in his ultimate form, he's going to be using both. Indeed. But it also allowed me to kind of think of some other characters, like Jean, for example. I was just sitting here and I was like, how would Jean progress as a character? Because she's already kind of developed enough. She's not the. In any case, she's already kind of got like a history and story, and like what more could possibly happen to allow her to grow as a person? And then it occurred to me, what if during our travels she just, gets a day off and decides to not actually use it spending a day off, but comes to do some rigorous adventuring with us, and comes to us to Li Hui, where she meets either Xin Q or some other Guhua style person. She finds herself relatively matched, even though she's one of the better sword fighters in Mondstadt, I believe. Indeed. Well, we don't know what he does. We just know he's a big man. We don't know. Very well then. Let me know when you're ready for me to join. I see. In any case, it occurred to me, is like, I bet Jean is mostly self-taught, and I'm not even sure they have a, quote, style in Mondstadt. You just kind of fight however you feel like. So I was like, what if Jean went to Liyue and just got completely, well, matched by Jean Q, probably. But, they go to Liyue and, just... maybe someone suggests, like, you kind of have potential to learn this and do really well with this style of fighting. You should probably consider it. Indeed. The only question is, what would she get from it? Would it literally just be Xinq's ult, or would it be something else? I know it'd be a little bit different, but it's like, would it turn her into a damage dealer, or would it turn her into, like, an animo version of Xinq? I thought about that. Probably not. That'd be a little bit too complicated. Maybe another game based on the Genshin world. Well, I will say, if this shenanigans does happen, we're doing dumb ice one again. As I was saying, would it be... I don't know, I think there's like a couple ways to go. She could be like, I don't really need to learn this, I'm fine as is, and then some shenanigans happens, and then she realizes she needs to get a little bit stronger in order to better defend Mondstadt. And then there's the, it'd be interesting, I suppose. So she does that. But in my opinion, the really interesting, the other logical conclusion for that to go would be the second advancement. I'm not sure what to call it really, but it would be like she starts mixing in her own style with Guhua style. See how that would go. And then she gets like a much stronger version of her current ult, where it starts raining down wind swords in the entire area of it. That's what I thought about for Jean. Xinq as well. Maybe one of these days I'll have a slightly more specifics. Why should we improve this? Because I have a bunch of food I don't actually need. I have almost 600 crabs. I can make as much Adeptus Temptation as I want. You can buy short at the store. Both in real life and in Genshin. clearly it's far too real for me. Any characters that you want to hear ideas about? Because I would say two. Yeah, Fi is probably the second hardest one. Chongyun is the hardest. I don't know how he would progress. Or maybe Chris hardest, actually. I think I did come up with an idea for Chongyun. It would involve him meeting Bennett. Because what if Bennett is cursed, Josh? Indeed. Just constantly has an evil spirit around him at all times. And Chongyun is like, gasp, an evil spirit that did not immediately run from me. That would also be a kind of, well, depend on how nefarious and strong that evil spirit is going to be. But even so, Chongyun is one of the harder ones. He could. Think about it. Moon would also kind of be a slightly difficult character to come up with a story with. Isn't this the dungeon of the domain of Don't Bring Overload because otherwise you will overload? And that's with no well sealing. Noah's a pretty easy character to come up with story progression for. It's pretty easy, actually. The first one would be, she finally gets to join the Knights of Favonius officially. Indeed. And that would be character development. The question is, would her outfit change at all, like officially? I doubt it. I think Austin will be put in the game before then. It's just a matter of what becomes their new default, maybe? Or it might be one of those situations where their outfit technically changes officially, but not actually when you play the game. Something like that. Really need to get Mona's art. I want to get Mona's artifacts back up to par again, but at the same time, I also need to work on my next teams. And then even when I am done, Elemental Mastery, or a Hydro bonus damage. Not good enough, unfortunately. Something else to consider would be whether or not characters would be getting new elemental types as well. A second vision specifically, because I could. Well, but it's mostly granted. How it's granted, we don't know, and that's kind of important to know. So my crazy theories could be very far from the truth. Here's why I don't share them up. A mix of crazy and lacking of information. I should obviously bring my level 1 Bennett into this challenge. Can enjoy that sick 70 attack increase. Actually, I think mine does like 200. Yours does like 700. Indeed. I can't remember what specifically we're talking about. Something about, oh yes, multiple visions. Because we do have something kind of similar in the delusions, which is what Child has, and I think the majority of the Fatui members. It's just a matter of those come with some unfortunate side effects. I don't think it kills him, it just takes a lot out of him. Yes, but I'm not sure he would be that dumb. I get the feeling if he was given a tough enough fight, he would just lose the form. So I'm not going to hurt as much as Mona's ult. Truly wish I knew how. It's one of the more important questions, in my opinion, if not the most important question, because the Archon War stuff is kind of important, but it will be expanded upon in the future, I believe. Save. Alright then. Yes, beyond getting multiple visions, because it's also my theory. Well, I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to share that theory, but maybe I will for the sake of conversation. But in my opinion, Traveler could be a god, of which we're not in the chat. Let me bring out Mr. Cheese, and then not cheese. We should move down to the appropriate chat, Josh. Indeed. I must say, if for some reason we ever become popular for a podcast, it will be amusing to go back at this more than humble beginning. Went on every day. Frequently had some shenanigans going on. Unprofessional F, but indeed. Have no doubt. This version was very easy, by the way. Way easier than the previous one.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Nope.
I'm here.
I think that's much easier because I'm not trying to look at the entirety of the arena, more or less. Or I'll be in the middle of a giant area that's about to disappear. Game moved me back. I was running onto it, and then the thing disappeared, and then it moved me back into the fallen block. Who knows? All I know is that the current event for this shenanigan is called the Great Bubble Crash. I wonder why those evasive zones even exist. It's not like we need them. None. Probably should have brought Gonium, actually. On your engine queue. Oh well. I forget that these fights are at the very end. If no, it was really fun, Josh. Spending 10 minutes fighting one of these on your world with Beidou and Barbara. Sometimes there's things a little more clear about whose ults are going off. Indeed. Probably a melt. Most warm enough for me to just start opening my window. Anyways, I'll bring Gani this time for actually killing those things faster. Because I forgot they were there.
Come on, put your skills to the
Or I could bring Noel for the sake of sitting next to those things while they fail to do any damage. I'll bring Jane for healing. In the event that we need healing. It's because you stopped talking.
Bombs so heavy.
That is not true. You talk all the time, Josh. You're only bad at talking if you don't talk. You know what, Josh? We clearly need a story event where we need to chop down a giant tree onto a god. Which will be a god, Josh. It will be Child's Consolation. Speaking of Child, he also has a very easy to predict right story. And how did I do that again? Indeed. Indeed, he's just that guy who's like, you know what, I don't care who you are, I want a good fight. Except he's not entirely like that because I do believe he follows the Saritsa to a certain degree. He's not entirely give fight, break any order for the sake of a fight. And when I did this on single player, it was only a crit damage increase of 70%. Is it just... I wonder how many people even use that. Oh, I see now. Additional rolls that there's some...
La la la.
Bad news, Josh. You cannot break the thing. Oh, so Josh, are you ready for shenanigans? Full lethality gnar. Indeed. I mean, Ganyu does do way more damage than any of my characters. Also, Ganyu's first constellation allows for some pretty ridiculous energy generation. Yes. I just need to shoot my fully charged arrow and then elemental particles appear whether or not I hit anything or not. I think I need to do at least being. No. Oh shit, no. That's not going to keep my character saved. I wonder what Dendro is going to be like. In that case, let me bring in some additional damage. Oh, Josh, I haven't. I should obviously C6 every single character in the entire game. And I'll do it with $1. Turns out Mihoyo does believe in generosity if you win the lottery. Your force. I bet you're just like those people who believe that the pentakill was theirs. It was sloppy, you say? Okay. Like can indeed cheese this as well. Probably. Indeed, I could probably do it with my exit now. When there's ultimate sprint, sometimes not particularly good for mobility. Hey. Nope. I think we lost a bunch of score when got hit a bunch by the things.
If you lie on the grass, you can.
Doing this with one might be good. Nope, still have it, so I might be able to do this even faster with moon. Now, why can't they just...
Adventure time.
Also, having this new book reduce sprint stamina consumption is very useful.
Adventure time.
Specifically for Moon, though. I have bad news, Josh. I cannot break them. Didn't get the crit damage. No, our scores must be independent then. Yeah, I'm at 285. Well, no, you got caught by those things a lot. Losing on that was not as bad as losing on the thing I lost at, which was the dodging stuff. What is unfortunate is not having either of my ults. Whenever you freaking want to. Strong enough. You deal going a little bit through. I see what you did there, Josh. An elemental reaction pun, even though gun you cannot do overload. Oh, I think I remember now. What if Jean, in her final form, gives Jinkyu's ult but to everyone, as well as her field of healing? That's what I remember thinking about. Attack increased by 120%. That would be super strong on my official. It probably reach 4,000% attack. Probably eat some food. I will say, if they do that character and kit change stuff, it would be neat if I had Shell, because going into his big boss form would be really fun. Here. I can see. I don't think they would change. I think they would actually add stuff, because again, I don't see us keeping 2 buttons the entire game. Easy, a new bomb. Also, in one of the if you go to the archery event, Lee has the top score for this next set of events. And her description of it is, what if I just attached a bomb to an arrow? Indeed. What the... Weird. I mean, I also predict that they could just add in weapon changes or additional weapons for characters to use. Indeed. Same. Not going to get 3 again. Yep. Indeed, I'm probably not going to get 3 again, unless I can somehow get getting. It's because I'm failing that event. I got hit 5 times, Josh. Maybe I could get 300 if I got greedy with these flowers. Too short. I gathered 1 more flower, I would have had it. Oh well. I mean, I don't have it. Just ult when they appear.
Everybody stand back! Written in the stars. Really hurt. Delved into
What's the problem is that you don't have Bennett's final constellation.
Glaze over. Delve fences upon you. Access denied.
well, then they're not going to get the other currency that you need for this event. Because there is 2 required currencies. We'll see. Which means now you can finally bring Child to his ultimate form, level 80. Now you just need a bunch of shenanigans to get him to. Well, I was watching some video, and even without Bennett's buff, you could get Bennett to do 40k on his ult. It does make me think there is a correct way to build characters. You could build all characters for damage. Is that so? Right. No. Well, at least our defense is increased by 50%. Make it really good on my Noel. Same.
La la la.
Momentum is the worst sometimes. Yup. Not paying attention now.
La la la.
$190. Nope.
so heavy.
Probably more than my gun you.
For Rex Left Land! That really hurt!
Just add one more. None. Hmm. I did not mean to, but oh well. So give me 100% crit rates.
Where are you? Explosion inside city wall. Grounded be thy woe. Explosions can hurt people. Gene can be dreadful. Mondstadt be bombed. Klee be doomed. Those are the survival rules that the Knights of Favonius gave me.
It would have been nice if I did bring Noah along for that, though. Probably stay in sprint for a very long time. And depending on how it stacks indefinitely. If they didn't want cheese, they could have fixed it to not have cheese. Plus, you can't just dodge through them anyway. It was weird. Probably. I wonder if I can. Indeed. Anyways, after this, I'll probably end the thing as
La la la. La la la.
and yet so far.
Let me lead you. No, my sword.
Here we go. Now we get to line.
Teamwork is true. Blazing delight.
We've done the other events already. Indeed. Just looking at stuff in the event shop, are you, Josh? Nah.
Come on, put your skills to the test.
Indeed.